Good morning and welcome to the DFS Army YouTube channel. I'm Razzle11 and you can find me on X at Razzle11Grinds. Going to take a look at the pitching for today, the 30th of June. It is Monday. We do have just a 6-game main slate ahead of us this evening. I have not heard anything about weather. We'll refresh the weather station here, see if we have an update. We do. One of the weather games not on the main slate. The other one, Tampa Bay. Obviously a worry because there's going to be a pitcher in that game that I really, really like. I did look through the list of pitching, and we get one of my favorite things to attack, left-handed pitchers against Tampa Bay. So we're going to have to pay attention to that weather as the day goes on. A reminder that this is a first look at the pitching options on the slate, and I will be looking at DraftKings as that is where a majority of my action is. If you play in FanDuel, you can cut my pool in half or so. Pricing isn't quite as tight. You don't have to be as creative. It allows you to get the stacks you want with an upper tier-ish pitcher. Now, with all that said and done, let's just jump into the pitching options this evening. Rodon versus Scherzer. A couple of decent starts for Rodon after a couple not so good starts. Has plenty of upside. His numbers at home are extremely strong, aside from allowing more home runs. And his strikeout rate is slightly worse, but still really strong numbers at home. The issue here is he's taking on Toronto. Refresh the stats. Toronto striking out the fewest amount in baseball. No matter where they're at, home, road, it doesn't matter. They just don't strike out. Now, with that said, I still think Rodon's in play, especially because it is a 6-gamer. He's not some random pitcher, so he's certainly in play, like I mentioned. Bringing up some of the Toronto history against Rodon just to get an idea. Just 22 strikeouts in 86 plate appearances, so, that's still a 25% K rate, so there is definitely some strikeouts. Vlad has definitely touched him up. Vlad's 8 for 12 against him with 3 walks, 0 strikeouts. Interesting numbers, but again, we're here about pitching. I think Rodon's in play, like I mentioned. 6-gamer, I think we have to look at him. Max Scherzer, making his second start back from the IL. Wasn't super sharp in his first one. Don't think I can go there against the Yankees on the slate. Nothing more I'd like to see than Scherzer come back and be a somewhat strong starting pitcher, but fortunately, I think his time has passed a little bit. Injuries are starting to catch up to him. Next game, Boston, Cincinnati. Garrett Crochet. Ton of upside. Left-handed pitching in Cincinnati has been something that's profitable. Overall, I think we have to go there a lot. Crochet's K rate at home is a lot lower, which is kind of weird, but still, I will gladly go towards Crochet and his K prop of 8.5. Might be the highest we've seen on the season. I'm trying to remember it. I just don't think I remember an 8.5 previously. The other side, Chase Burns making his second major league start. Struck out the first 5, I believe, in his debut against the Yankees. Slowed down a little bit after that, but still pretty strong first major league start. K-prop of 5.5, choose to the over. I like the over on that number for sure. Obviously, the Boston lineup weakened without Devers. They did wake up a bit. I think it was yesterday, or was it Saturday? My weekend ran together. A lot of family time this weekend, so But definitely the best spot for pitching for me, or at least my favorite pitching matchup on the slate right here with Crochet and Burns. And I'm sure I'll get questions about that. And yes, I am open to using both pitchers in the same game. Tampa Bay and the A's drew Rasmussen. Coming off a pretty solid start against Kansas City. I think there's plenty of upside in this matchup. We do know that the A's can struggle. They do hit plenty of home runs, but Rasmussen doesn't really give up home runs. Just 8 of them allowed in 84 innings. Less than 1 per 9. Not a huge K guy, so obviously that can be a worry. But he's actually been phenomenal at home, which you can't really say that about many Tampa Bay pitchers this year in that ballpark. But it's just been even stronger when pitching at home. So I've definitely got to be interested. K-prop of 5.5. Just to the under, but still, it's a pretty solid K-prop for a guy that doesn't strike out a whole lot. On the other side, the left-handed pitcher that I was talking about taking on Tampa Bay, something that we targeted early and often. He's given up just 1 earned run over his last 23 innings. Could be more than that. I don't know where these runs came, but over his last 4 starts, or 4 appearances. Not sure if he actually started this game. But he's been phenomenal. Super volatile. The walks can appear. He can't give up home runs, but still he's throwing the ball so well right now. I just have to be interested. Love the price point. Hate the weather right now, but still, I want to use a lot of Jacob Lopez. Baltimore, Texas. Trevor Rogers, Patrick Corbin. I actually think this is a decent spot for pitching. Rogers K-prop just 4.5. Juiced under. Patrick Corbin's 5.5 juiced under as well. I actually think we could get away with using both guys. Rogers has looked good in 2 out of his 3 appearances so far. Obviously, this left-hander versus Tampa Bay didn't work out overly well. But he did just dominate this Texas squad. That is a worry, obviously. I don't like pitchers making back-to-back starts. Extra time off. It's been a week since he pitched. And the overall Texas lineup is weak enough that I think Rogers has to be in play for me. I like the way he's throwing the ball. 6-game slate makes sense to me. On the other side, Patrick Corbin, like we mentioned, K-prop of 5.5. Seems a little high, but he has gotten to that number in 2 out of his last 3 starts. Last start against this Baltimore squad, he did struggle. His recent trend's not as strong as Trevor Rogers, but he is pitching at home where he has been pretty good. Just 12 home runs over 76 innings. It's not too bad. It's around 1.4 per 9 or so. Not the best, but still, I do think a left-handed pitcher is a decent way to attack Baltimore overall. So I do think Corbin is going to be in play as a GPP SP2. I prefer Rogers, I guess, just because I think he's shown more upside. But still, I think both guys are viable. San Francisco, Arizona. Logan Webb. Arizona without Corbin Carroll is weak enough that I think Webb is in play. Kind of want to look into his history pitching in Arizona, but strikeout rate much stronger on the road. But he does allow a few more home runs, which shouldn't surprise us since he pitches in San Francisco. I think Logan Webb's definitely in play. It's just not somebody I'm going to be, prioritizing at this point. And Nelson's been pretty good the last few appearances. Just 2 solo home runs allowed over his last, 15 2/3. Not bad at all. I don't mind it. He wasn't great against San Francisco here. But certainly viable. He's been pretty excellent at home, which is a little shocking. I don't really feel the greatest about ever using him. I would much rather pay the similar price for Rodgers and Corbin, but I rarely let price points dictate who I'm playing, just because I'm looking for raw points. I think Logan Webb has that raw point upside. I'm not sure that Ryan Nelson does, even though I'm not overly worried about a San Francisco lineup. But I would think that I'm not going to play Nelson. It could change as the day goes on, especially if we lose like Lopez and Rasmussen here in this game. But, 6 games, there are actually a decent amount of guys that are usable. In fact, most of the slate is, which is not how I like to do things. So that kind of means that I'm probably going to have to be off on Wacha in this last game. Probably going to end up off Nelson for sure. Scherzer I'm off of anyways, because I do want to eliminate some guys from the pool. If we get a ton of weather concerns, then we got to eliminate Rasmussen and Lopez as well, which could open up one of the other guys, but still, I don't mind cutting it down even farther if the weather dictates it. Last game, Kirby, definitely somebody I'm interested in, but he's only looked good in one start. I mean, I guess he's looked great in one start. He looked decent in his last one. Just to rack up strikeouts. At home, he hasn't been good this season. Small sample size, of course. It is a pitcher's park, so that does help. Problem is, like we looked at earlier, Kansas City, second fewest strikeouts per game in baseball. So I'm not overly excited to use Kirby. I mean, Wacha probably has the more upside matchup. Problem is he's not a big K guy himself, especially on the road. It just doesn't feel super exciting. So maybe getting off of pitching in this game might make sense. Just gotta hope that you're putting all your eggs into like Crochet, Burns, hopefully Lopez for me, maybe some Webb and then Rodon, and just hope that that's how your night goes. Maybe sprinkle in this Texas game pitching. Kind of a lot to uncover the rest of the day because we do need to separate some of these guys, see what the ownership's looking like, and make some decisions based on all of the information, which is why this is clearly a first look video, just because we need to gather more as the day goes on. But there we have it. There's our first look at pitching. If you enjoy what I bring to you, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, turn the notification bell on. Get the alert anytime we drop videos here at DFS Army. If you want to join us, get access to our coaches, tools, sheets, Discord, etc., I will put links in the description below. You can use promo code RAZ, that's R-A-Z, for 10% off monthly. And as always, best of luck, everybody.